the survey then was conducted into 3 parts, wherein I wanted the personal information to know from where the people were, because that was very important, because I just wanted respondents from Mumbai, then the psychographics of the respondent and the perception of the respondent. So it was into 3 parts. Going through few important slides and of my research gathering. So it could be that, of course, the age group that I got was again targeted in terms of 18 to 20 was the maximum that I received. And it was more female-oriented youth that I got, but not with a very large gap. 59% was a female and 41% was male. Then coming to the psychographic aspect and educational and all those aspects, most of them were students, because it was a category of youth, and majorly all of them were studying. Now here we can see that most of the respondents actually preferred used WhatsApp in majority, and a later one was Instagram. Then in terms of social media app usage by age, so here we can see that mostly 18 to 20 years was a category that was into using of social media. Then classification of respondents in terms of usage of social media platform by gender. So here, as most of the research studies earlier also that I have seen, was that women use social media platform more than men, and that's how we can see that it's again, those researchers also agree that women use them more. Now here it is evident that the category that is using social media maximum is the 18 to 20 year segment, and that's how it's categorized. Then the most used social media platform for emojis with respect to age was WhatsApp. So we see majority of the people using emojis are using them on WhatsApp. And if we talk about the other social media platforms, then it is Instagram. So very little, very few people were using it actually on Twitter, and you can see the numbers are negligible. Then classification of respondents in terms of usage of emojis with respect to their educational qualifications. So we can see that, even people who are just higher secondary educated and all, even they were using emojis, and even everyone in the educated category were using them. Now, with respect to gender, we, as I have stated earlier, it was women who were using social media platform more. Here also with emojis, these were the women who were, it was women category, female category who were using WhatsApp or social media platforms more. In respect to gender, when we see that there is not a lot of difference when we're seeing in terms of gender, but with age, yes. Then this was the frequency. So here we can see that majority of the time people have said that, they are using it sometimes. Emojis, very few people were of the opinion that, they do not use emojis. It was a very, again, negligible number. But almost always and frequently are also on a high this thing along with sometimes. Now, these were the perception of the respondents where I was trying to see them. And here it was seen that the majority of respondents did not prefer to have emoji as a text response. So therefore, this research also validates that text equally was important. Not every time would someone want an emoji as a response to their text. In fact, few people that I actually interacted with after they had filled up their forms and they agreed to talk a little more on it, even said that sometimes they were irritated if, every time an emoji was sent as a response. But yes, if it's somewhere in the message, then they liked it more. Then here it could be seen that, of course, people felt that, there are sufficient emojis now, because with advancement of technology and everything, more and more features are getting added to emojis. So more additions are being made. A lot of study is being done onto their visual aspect, and people sometimes are even finding it hard to relate that their particular emoji that they were looking for or is not found there. But then with my study sample, I did not feel that a lot of people felt that they couldn't communicate because of lack of emojis. Then, of course, yes, here it was agreed that women are using higher. And as I said earlier in my abstract also towards the introduction, that the men are not at a very back foot. Okay, they are also equally communicating. They would also want to express. So I thought that, even in my thesis I've mentioned that this could be owing probably where in our country we emphasize that men with feelings are something which we are not used to. So we want to see them very strong, and probably, they therefore keep their emotions to themselves. But we can see that through emojis, they are trying to express themselves. Then this particular aspect where, emojis, of course, could, as it's a visual medium, it could mean anything to anyone. So when I am using them, the person across the globe or across my country should, of course, know what it means before using an emoji. So yes, it can happen that most of the time we could be having different opinions on what that emoji looks like. Sometimes it was also seen that, it can be misleading or offensive to a culture or community. So probably I might have sent the emoji not in a offensive manner, but in their culture, in their community, it could mean something else. And that's why my hypothesis of research questions, where I was looking at how culture plays an important role, that also was seen here. Because when I talk culturally about something, it could mean anything to anyone with respect to what they feel. So people could get offended if I'm using an emoji that could mean something else in their particular culture or community. So respondents also felt that, no, it might not lead to any negative, but they felt, yes, we could have been more careful while understanding this medium. Then when, of course, when we are communicating with other people, so here I felt that the need is that, people would actually understand that and remove communication barriers, because I might not know the language, but I might know the visual. And that is where it might help in reducing communication barriers when I'm communicating with people from other countries. And of course, yes, here we can see that, not many people were comfortable communicating with strangers.
You are muted, please. Please unmute.
Oh,
Yeah,
was I mute the entire time?
yeah, yeah.
No, no, no. Proceed.
It was muted. Proceed,
Okay,
please.
so just from here, I will start.
For only
Just from
few
here.
seconds.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So, so of course, gender neutral emojis being better was something which majority of the people agree that yes, it's better if they are gender neutral emojis. Now, usage of emojis specific to respondents' gender only, many of the time there is not a lot of difference of opinion that if I'm a woman or if I'm a female, then I would use more emojis with that respect. That's not generally the case. It most of the time depends with whom I am talking, with whom I am conversing. Yes, this was a very important question where, many of the times we see that there is a tendency to stereotype people negatively who use only emojis to communicate. And it was interesting to see that, not many people said that it is a stereotype or anything. And yes, people do not like it always that people should communicate only in emojis. But then it was complemented with my other question where I said that text also is equally important. Then yes, people did agree that it reduces gender gap, yeah, by using emojis, because they felt that still here, there are people who do not believe it has anything to do with emojis. But then yes, there are few people who believe this can be the case. And a majority of the people agreed that, expression of feeling is increased with emojis. So this was definitely something which again supports with all the theories and all the aspects of visual communication. And one interesting aspect was that should emojis be used in formal communication? And we can see that not a lot of people agreed to it, but there was a certain amount of people who said that yes, it would be better if formal communication could use emojis. And there are certain theories also which validates that, yes, if you are using it even in formal communication, so probably if there is a bad news that is to be given, an emoji will soften the blow. So that kind of a situation. So this was the analysis do with the age category.